So with that, let's go to begin with AI. So initially I was planning to do for AI, machine learning and generative AI, 3-step in order for high-paying career, including certification, the 3 mistakes you might be making and how to avoid them. But then I realized I need to go a little bit deeper. So I've added cloud as well as data on these sessions that you're going to look at as well. So what we're going to look at is we're going to cover is first we're going to look at why you must learn AI, machine learning, generative AI, and why with data and cloud, why I'm also focusing on other things, data and cloud as well. At any point in time, if I'm asking the question, if you have a doubt, as I said, k20academy.com/13, I'm going to pick up questions in the order in which I got there. And then I'll give a short answer for now, but then next 1, 2, 3, 4 days, I'm going to pick up and go deeper into answering them. The platform becomes very, very easy for me to answer those questions there. Then we'll look at the job opportunities. There are some of the very, very exciting opportunities I'm going to show live as well. And if you need help, if you're struggling to find those job opportunities in your country, let me know which country you're from and what you have searched so I can give you and show it to you actually where those huge, a pretty high number or high salaries job opportunities that I'm going to show it to you as well here. Also, we'll look at the salaries you can expect and how to get that high paying salaries or jobs. And I'll show you some of the examples that you see. Also, we're going to look at certifications for AI, machine learning, generative AI. I'm going to talk in the context of cloud providers because they are the highest paying jobs that you get from AWS. What are the certifications available from Azure, from Google, or from anyone else as well, or these 3 main majority of, but I'm going to focus specific to AI and machine learning certifications from those. We'll give you others, but we'll focus on those. We'll also talk about how to get a high paying job, even as a beginner. A lot of guys come and say, hey, companies ask me for experience. If you're one of those, if you're thinking, oh, I can't get a job because of experience, it's all BS. I'll explain you how that as well, but you need to tell me what your situation is because each person's situation is different. So if you tell me what your background is and why you think you have no experience and how to gain that experience even without getting a job, we'll talk about that as well. Also, a lot of guys come and say, I can't get a job. There's tons and tons of myths or a lot of limiting beliefs that have, and I had those as well, limiting beliefs. So I don't have a coding knowledge, programming knowledge. If you're one of them, put them because I'm going to show all this that it's all BS. You can get a job without any of those things as well. So we'll also look at the 12 mistakes or myths keeping you stuck. And out of those 12, I'm not able to go deeper into all of them, but I'm going to pick up 3 top most common ones which is stopping you in getting interview calls. Why you're not getting interview calls? If you're getting interview calls, why you're not able to clear them and how to avoid them. Guys, I speak fast. So if I go fast, let me know in the chat window or in that thread as well. Good morning, Paresh, everyone. So I'll explain you as well. 1 second. Let me know. If I'm going fast, let me know, please, in the chat window, wherever the chat you're watching, that if I'm going fast. Because when I get excited, I speak fast. But now we're going to be, Next one is, we'll also cover the 3-step framework that helped me personally going from earning less than $100 to £1,200 $100 a month to earning £1,200 a day. And not just me alone, but tons and tons of individuals like you for how to get those high paying job as well. We'll also look at question answers. We'll also look at personalized roadmap. This is, as I said, I'm going to only pick up for those who are posting the questions in that community as well. We'll also have some gifts. But that gift, initially I was thinking of, should I do certification or interview questions? I've been doing for a number of years now, those things. I'm trying to make it a little bit different. And then also, it'll be also how many engaging questions you have and interesting will be good gift, will be interesting. And then also how you take it to the next level. Whatever you learned is absolutely free. You want to go deeper, how you take to the next level as well. With that's I was talking about is the gift which I was talking about. We'll be covering this, which is, let me move while they're coming here. Yeah. So there are 3 different prizes you can win. But for that, you have to ask questions, engage in the community, and help others and ask interesting questions. It should be relevant and it should be helping others, or it should be something which will help others as well, not just alone to you as well. You can then, once you give, over the next 2-3 days, we'll be having this discussion going further deeper as well. And based on that, you can have a one-on-one call with me or you tell me which kind of a person you want. We have tons and tons of experts in different domain. We can connect you with them for 30 minutes, unlimited access to them, which you can ask anything from them. Or we do certification dumps for Google Cloud Leader or machine learning or AI engineer from Azure, or machine learning from AWS or Azure. You can get exam dumps. We have tons and tons of dumps. You can ask that. Or I can personally review, which I've not done. Usually I do it for only for the members, but I'm happy to do your personalized resume. If you're not getting interview calls or LinkedIn, we charge $997 for that. It's absolutely, I can do one person for that review as well. So post your questions on k2academy.com/13, but that's engage and help others as well. Not just your question, but once you know the answer, help others. That's what the moral we are doing in the community as well. So this is the post which I mentioned. It might have to ask you for login or register once, and it's only once register. After that you can do. There's an app as well, and that's why I've seen I have to approve these things. I'm just looking at the genuine guys. If you notice anyone is selling anything or behaving inappropriate, highlight. Ideally, I should have removed this one. Usually I don't accept that NN, but because I'm assuming they were short and they want to publish quickly, that's why I'm approving these guys here. There is someone separate in my team answers or approves. So we'll post those questions up. Then you go to k2academy.com/13, and this is where, sorry, not 12, 13, it should be 13. My mistake. And that's what I was saying, that guys, everyone, please ensure that you register before so that you can ask and have a fun. Maybe next time it'll be much better experience. So k21academy.com/13, this is where you'll be posting all the questions, and I'm maybe picking these questions as well. So I just want to see that comments are coming. They're coming and engaging on this. Brilliant. Now this is where it will be internally within, only the members can be. Hi Aryan. Oh, my son's name is Aryan as well. I love Aryan, but I'm not sorry, Aryan, I should not have. Welcome to this. Hey, welcome to this. This is post questions, guys. I'm going to pick up these questions as well. Okay. Now with that, now I want genuinely, depending on the 12 myth, I've been asking that, and I'm going to go deeper which on that group. So go to that group and let me know, is it type me first, me 1, me 2, or if you have multiple me 1, 2, 3. If you're applied for the jobs and not getting interview calls, this is I'm to cover. I'm going to go a little bit later into this. First, I want to give value, and then we'll cover this, because that's where you might have know a lot of things and still not getting, or you may know nothing but it still can get a job, or a lot of how you're going to do those as well. So applying for the jobs but not getting interview calls. This is one of the common question or I get is type me 1 if you are one of them. Or if you're lucky that you're getting interview calls but not able to clear the interviews, not getting job offer, type me 2. I'll explain you why that's happening. Or if you're someone said, I have a gap in my career, that's why I'm not getting a job. Again, myth. I know tons and tons of guys now who have, or ladies, or in fact, who have gap in the career and have got back into the job track. Type me 3 if you're one of them. Or if you're not from IT, or if you said, I'm not getting a job because I'm not from IT background, because I'll tell you, I started when I started, I come from a mechanical engineering background. Or if you say, hey, I don't have a coding or programming knowledge, type me 5. I'll give you share today tons and tons of jobs which doesn't require within AI, within cloud, within data, which doesn't need coding or programming knowledge. I don't have till date coding or programming knowledge. Even the senior level jobs, you can get it. Or then common question is, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do it, what to learn, we'll cover that. I don't feel confident, we'll talk about that as well. I'm too old. Sometimes people get it. I'm 46. I feel myself pretty young, but I see a lot of guys, sometimes they say, oh, I'm 40, 50, 55. Age is just a number. And I'll show it to you as well. I don't have time. Again, common, or will I be starting from zero, feeling stressed, confused. And there's no need to feel bad, because out of these 12, I had all 11 except the ninth one. I never felt I'm too old to learn anything. But rest all of them, I felt number of times, and till date, sometime I feel stressed, anxious, but I have now to learn the trick as well. So if you are one of them, we're going to cover going deeper into all of these topics as well. Now, as I said, initially when I started with thinking, oh, I'm going to talk only this top part, AI machine learning on AWS, Azure, and Google, where we talk about machine learning studio, OpenAI services, Bedrock and SageMaker from AWS, Vertex AI, and then Vertex AI Generative Studio. I wanted to go deeper, but then I realized, oh, there's a bigger problem. Just alone, this is. I wanted to go a little bit deeper, so I thought probably I'll go as high as in today's class. I'll go as long as you guys are interested, and I see if you want to learn. Once I see that people are not like getting bored or something, I'll stop it. But then I'll go deeper into further later, as long as it takes to learn and understand these things. Then I realized AI machine learning is good, but you have to have some knowledge if you have to go more advanced, because everything on AI is revolved around data. So if you are good in data, that will be also, it's not mandatory, but it's good to or nice to have as well. And that's why, because we've done, so we'll talk briefly about data. But then underlying below that, everything data or AI, you need a platform or some infrastructure to run, and that's where cloud comes into picture. So we'll be talking about cloud as well. So it's not mandatory to know all of them, but it's good to have. These are, the more you know, the better your chances or prospects of. And me, my assume my success is because I go and very wide, but I go deeper as well. So I hope that I'm making sense. Are you guys still with me? Am I going at the right pace? Just put in the chat window, me 1 and 12, Bikash. I can help you 1 and 12 if you go and let me know in the comment section here, guys. And don't feel bad. As I said, I was hitting those 1 to 12. Me, I'll probably be brave and say me, all from 1, and I'll tell you all the stages till except that 11. And there's nothing to feel bad about if you're feeling that, because that's the first way to fix the problem, is identify the problem and accept it, and then you will start fixing it. So me for except 9. So this is me. I'll probably, and if you're one of them, I'll explain you each of these separately by going one by one as well on here. Sorry, this is first time. As I said, is probably usual. Let me see. Blame all these guys who came late. They should be, if I'm interfering, and because I don't want anyone to miss this fun as well. So let me know if it's all okay. Am I fine? Yes. Yes. Okay, great. Okay, so with that, let's begin. As I said, this is what I think probably be. So but my promise is that by end of this class, you will have full clarity on, and as I said, full clarity on how to get certified and how to get a high-paying job in AI, machine learning, data, as well as multi-cloud on that, even as a beginner with no experience. And if you can't, we'll carry forward that, and if I have to do it the remaining part later, I'm going to do it later. But as I said, we want to have this fun where you understand. The feedback in past I used to get was I speak fast and I go very fast. So I'm going to go a little bit slow, so you understand these concepts that I'm going to talk about. So the diagrams that you see are the clouds. AWS from Amazon, Google, probably most of you guys know. The right hand side you see the cloud from Microsoft Azure. This is Oracle, and then Snowflake and Databricks are more on a data side. Then Vertex AI is from Google. This is the AI and machine learning, you probably know. This is a Microsoft Azure machine learning studio. I forgot other tools which I'm going to talk about as well. And I'm also going to talk about a 3-step framework in order to get a high-paying job. I've been testing and trying this out and been asked, successfully done for not 1 to thousands of guys as well. Just follow this framework and then just copy paste and take it forward as well. Also, I've just recently started that we work in group, but I'm also working very closely with a handful of guys, maybe 5 max, on me and my team, working with me and my team. If you're interested, we can't accept everyone. We only can pick max 5 guys on this. It's going to be a little bit of different working or learning with me. Of course, this is going to be a program which is there is an investment required, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. There's a qualification process. We'll not be accepting everyone and anybody, and we have only limited time or limited seats for that. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay. Now, a lot of you guys are already introduced. If not, let me know which country you're from. I just want to know the country so that I can see as well on say which country you are from, so I can see. Okay, let me go back to put in the chat window on which country you are, or the experience is going to be a little bit slow, but okay. Let me see. Okay, so I can see a lot of guys. Okay, so Saudi Arabia, Chicago, US. Okay, wow. Kalyan, US, Dubai, US, Canada, UK, US. Okay, a lot of US guys. India. Typically, I see a lot of guys from India and US, but this today there's a lot of guys from US and US folk. Okay, let's begin with that. Okay, let's continue from here. Now I'm going to go very quickly. How many guys that I've already know? And if I don't, then I'm not going to do discuss more. I'll type new or old here, like existing new. Just type new if you are, or repeat or R. And for new or R for repeat if you know, and if you see enough new, then I'll cover. Okay, there's 2, 3 new R repeat new. Okay, I'll go and quick. I think that's a mix repeat. I'm not going to go deep or very quickly. I'll move on here. Just in a very short 24 years of IT, but I've gone ups and downs in my life. Initially lots of downs, and then up, and then down. And what I realize is life is never up or down. Life is ups and downs. A lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, but a lot of fun as well. So that's what I'm going to cover and share here as well. I'm going to be totally vulnerable with you as well. At the same time, this is my customers, client base, which I've worked on last 24 years with some of the big banks, telecoms. Here in UK, I'm based in London. Last 20 years, I'm based here, but work with like companies like WorldPay, pretty good big forex company, Royal Bank of Scotland. You have Atradius, which is Netherlands, Pepperdine in US, Toyota in Brussels, Somalia, Ghana, remotely, Scottish government, US, American Excel, absolute like Tucson Electric Powers, and so on. But the reason I'm telling you is everything that you're going to learn or is coming from real experience and knowledge as well. But that's not how excited. I'll keep it short so that you can connect that, hey, or think if you're right now not at a stage where you want to be, don't feel bad, because I was one of them. I picked up, I spent last 2-3 days spending and finding out, going deeper and deeper. This is my first salary, I think second salary, $9,800 a month, which was back in 2001. I couldn't find my prior to that 2000, but for 1 year almost $800 a month to then $150 a month. This is another 2 years. Another first 4 years, $500 a month. And it was challenging. My first big break came when I moved to UK in 2004 through a company here, and that too also it was okay. It was good. It was very exciting to come here in UK, but I saw someone was getting paid £550 a day. For me, I was $3,000, and they were getting $550, which is like a lot of money. And I realized, oh, if they can do it, I can spend 9-10 months, which I'm not going to go deeper into that. That was a painful exercise. But once I did that, it was a pretty exciting journey. Got my first or second, this is my second contract, £425 a day, which is $10,000. But it took lots and lots of hard work. I'm going to tell you what you should be doing. If anyone at that stage, let me know. Then I felt stuck again. I was pretty good life for next 4 or 5 years, but then felt again ups and downs, but then again moved into, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later as well. And now what I do, nothing to show off, nothing to brag, but it's up to say this is possible, and you can achieve that as well. For those of you guys who are at a stage, not at that stage as well. I've done lots of ups and downs, which I'm going to say I'm not going to go deeper into here right now. This is I'm more for here, but my life lessons are never feel arrogant, never feel that you are on somewhere, because life can be very, very difficult. It was painful for me at this stage. It was painful for first 4 years. It was very painful in 2011-12, and that time I realized I need to keep learning. So one thing, if you take away from this class, is make sure you keep learning and keep new things. That's why I keep learning. Have fun, you will learn as well. So make sure you keep and skill learn as well. Now, very quickly, that has given me flexibility of working, when to work, where to work from, what to work on, and who to work with. Beautiful life, wonderful. I'm loving it for right now. My wife says don't jinx it, and so that is what I'm going to show and share it to you as well. But having said that, when I say that, people think, because I used to say the same thing, oh, your life is different, I'm just starting out, I can't do it, and so. Nothing like that. Everyone can achieve it, and you can achieve that as well. And that's my promise, that if you follow, you'll be doing and you'll be achieving that as well. Not 1, 2, 3, thousands and thousands of guys like you. And I'm not saying we are only, there are tons of guys who already are there at that stage as well. 44,000 individuals like you. And this is, I'm talking about December 2023. So tons of more as well. With that, as I said, to inspire what's possible, SJ. And I'm telling you, focus that, because I'm going to share today a lot of these interesting things or jobs that are available, because later if I tell you directly, you won't believe, oh, it's not possible, it's not for me, but doubled my salary from USSG, or here from India, received my first offer. Imagine a first offer in a cloud and expecting two more offers. Or Fyong received a job offer after a month. Or Sean, after being employed for last 7 months, I recently accepted a well-accepted job on AWS Cloud Architect, and so on. I can go on and on and as well. So I'm not going to go here. This is what I'm saying is pay attention, stay focused. You'll learn as well. With that, we are going to begin today's session. Are you all excited? Let me know. Close all the distraction and let me know. Put in the chat window. You're still with me here. Yeah. Put in the chat window and say all. We're going to begin with, it will be in phases. We'll begin with, first of all, why to learn. Then we'll look at what to learn. And there's a whole flow which I'm going to do, and keep excited. And guys, okay, let's begin. So first of all, why to learn AI, machine learning, generative AI. I've transitioned myself from difference, but not to leave your existing knowledge. Continue with that and upskill with that. If you're just starting out, you're beautiful time. There's a huge market shift. Every shift comes with a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of job losses, but there are a lot of opportunities as well. There's 1.3 trillion market size. In next 5-6 years, it's going to grow so exponentially. That means it will bring more and more opportunities as well. And that's why I'm very excited. I've been working in machine learning for quite some time now, but then AI, generative AI, we started with generative AI started last year only at pretty much every part in my life, as well as our business, our customer service, helping you. Some of the images that you will see were used using generative AI as well. So huge market. With that, because AI is driven all on data. Data is growing exponentially. So if you're working on a data space, you're pretty safe. It's going to grow zettabytes of 175 zettabytes, going to hit 2025 alone, and it's going to grow exponentially as well. Now, why data and why cloud AI machine learning? Because if you look AI, generative AI, it needs a lot of number crunching. It needs a lot of processing compute. It needs tons and tons of data. So it needs data. It also needs a lot of compute. And in order for companies to have generative AI or AI based or machine learning based, they need data strategy and they need infrastructure on the cloud strategy. And that's where you see all tied together AI, machine learning, generative AI as well. So they need to sort out all the three things as well. Because as I said, it needs cloud computing, and no company wants, because these chipsets that you see, they change very frequently now. What machines used to be 2 years back, they are very outdated now. And that's why companies are choosing to rent them out rather than buying them as well. So that's why, and you've noticed yourself, cloud growth. In 2012, I felt I was late when I started, but then it's growing very exponentially, still growing, and it's going to grow further because of AI, machine learning as well. And these are number of job opportunities you see. 107,000 AI jobs. That's going to grow exponentially. US, UK, India, Canada, Middle East, Singapore, Europe, you name it, just type, and I'm going to show you. I've taken a lot of screenshots today for this class. Tons and tons of job, and very good paying job. Whether it's you take AI, you take data, you take cloud, you see anywhere you go, whether you go for LinkedIn, you just search for Google, you go to the job portal, there are tons and tons of jobs as well. So when I say there are tons of jobs, anyone has any concerns that they are unable to find the job, go and put in the comment section on the community, so that I can tell you, if you tell me which country you are and if you are struggling to find the jobs. This is finding the jobs. How to get a job is a different story. But if you can't see the job, that's the problem. But tons and tons of jobs as well available. Now, with that, if you know how much salary you can expect, put in the chat window. I want to see how much you think the salary might be. What is the highest salary you can think of on as well? Okay, I'm going to pick up the membership while there's a membership pending. How much think someone is 350,000, 100,000? Imagine, I couldn't imagine. Oh no, I'm not going to give that. Imagine, put in the chat window how much you might be thinking. 200,000, done. Okay, so Joel is already done. Thank you, Joel. 200, 250, 250, 500, 150 to 750. Wow. Okay. Good. Interesting numbers. Okay. Good. So, okay. So it will depend on which country you are. I'm talking the context of US, but then US tribes, and then you can think of UK, Canada, pretty much similar things. If it's high on this, it's going to be brilliant. Jayesh. The closest is Jayesh. 500 to 1 mil as well. Brilliant. Okay, good one. So if you see, as per the Wall Street Journal, tech companies are serving up to $1 million a compensation package. I was shocked and surprised. I'm not at that level. I'm earning under the business. We are doing multiple millions, but not from a salary. Salary is a totally different ballgame. But then packages as well as stock vesting, and there are companies who are spending, if you are, and I'm going to show it to some of them as well, and they're even poaching. Their companies are fighting for, provided you're best in what you're doing on that skills as well. So I went deeper and say, oh, they might be making up because news anchors and for selling, but then I went into not just 1,000. So if you see Anthropic, it's a AI. You will see the LLMs and foundation models, which we'll be talking about, or OpenAI. Average salary 337,000 average, or with the average salary around 320 and 650,000 as well at senior research as well as researchers. So there's huge salaries on that range that you see. Now these are some of the top 10 companies that are published on Tech Republic, right from Uber. Average is these are average. So Uber, right from 314,000 to Walmart to Netflix to Facebook to Salesforce, Google, and all. Apple, average salary, this means which are going to be higher. Some are higher, some are lower. But I'm not saying that every job is like that. So also be realistic that you need to be good and pretty good, but you can achieve those rates as well. On eventually, that's a game. So average that you go is 236,000, which is again still damn good in if you look at the US, ranging from low as 120 to high 108. This is Canada, sorry. So ranging from a low as 186 to 296 as well. How are you feeling? Let me know in the put it chat window. I'm going to talk about it as well. I will pick up the questions, Sri. Post the questions in the chat, which is ketonacademy.com/13. That's where I'm going to pick up as well. So are you guys excited about this, or let me know in the chat window as well. Now, if you look at the questions or salaries, this is in UK. Typically UKs are comparatively less, but if you see now, a lot of 90,000, but there are a lot of 100, 110,000. Same is within India of 50, 60, 70 lakhs, 70 lakhs. So grow, especially in India, they're going to grow because right now they're more in US, Canada, and more in the Middle East as well. Now, if you want to go more, or if you need any help in terms of, I'm going to do a career guidance, which I'm going to show it to you here. So if you go onto the classroom, within there, if you go to the career guidance, I picked up some of the questions. I get tons and tons of questions. Wherever I see the most generic one, if you want to go deeper into salaries, you can dig deeper, or you want to see jobs, I'm going to more than happy. So there is a AI/ML jobs in Canada. Some guys asked in the past. So I posted these questions on where to find. You can dig deeper. If you have a specific requirement, post in this community, which is a thread, which is ketonacademy.com/13. I'm going to pick up those questions, or maybe later as well. While we don't offer, okay, thanks for, yeah. No, so guys, just wanted to tell you, these e-certificates or certificates will not mean anything unless you have a knowledge. So don't try to collect, and I'm sorry, with respect, respectfully, Deepavarti or Sunday, what you will be looking for is these paper-based will mean nothing if you won't be able to clear the certification. You won't be able to clear the job or get a job. You need to have the practical knowledge. So ask me how I'm going to learn the practical knowledge. That's where going to be helpful for interviews. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so then once that's done, let's look at some of the job roles as well. So let me know in the chat window what job roles you probably might be doing, what roles as well. What are the scope in cybersecurity in AI/ML? I'm going to cover that as well. Rohit, I'm going to post on that because questions are very specific. I have a lot to cover. I can take these questions. If these questions are posted on 13, that thread, Rohit, I'm going to pick up those there. Yeah, okay, that I'm going to cover that, Sony, I'm going to cover that. So we're going to look at and let me know what job role you think, what are the job role you are currently doing. That will help me. IT consulting, great. Doing cybersecurity, pen testing, okay, great. Are you who are developers, testers, who are out of job, who are looking for a job, consultant, let me know. ICT manager, data engineer, brilliant. Data analyst, okay. Risk management, brilliant. Developer, DevOps. So those who are in a DevOps, probably MLOps, Apps DBA, Deepak, try to do more on a cloud, Azure with AI. Okay, brilliant. Mazar, I'm going to pick up your question. Consulting, brilliant. Okay, the mix and okay, brilliant. Different backgrounds. Okay, great. So I'm going in the context of AI, machine learning, and cloud and data. But then, as I said, these are different roles. Based on that, first, what to find, what kind of, because title you might be searching for, or you might have, or might be thinking might be different. So the best way to identify or search for is search for very open-ended. If you're looking for a job, rather than searching for example, you're a developer, rather than searching a open-ended, developer might still be a very generic word, but rather than searching a particular thing, open-ended, and you will see tons and tons of jobs. So if you search for Gen AI, you see generative AI project manager, generative AI engineer managers, senior data engineers, or senior Gen AI engineers, or senior Java developers. If you see the rates, 800 to 850 pounds a day, 600 to 625, 800 to 900 pounds a day, 85 to 100,000 a day. Sorry, this is a 1 day rate. So, and these are the skills they are probably be asking. If you're a project manager, do these things as well. And remember, read this, because later part I'm going to talk about is how to get a job, or how to get a job quickly in these through a method which I'm going to talk about. So that's why I'm showing these. You need to look at what these companies are looking for in the job portal. Okay, maybe you can type word AI, and then if you see AI platform engineer, AI data consultant, AI architect, AI machine learning, generative AI engineer, sales director, but sales director in data and AI. So if you already have a data knowledge, and if you're a little bit of AI, you could go for 150,000 permanent salaries, 925 pounds a day if you're becoming a Python developer, which is a AI developer, and so on. So these are AI. Similarly, you can go for data and AI consultant, pretty good again, same 800, 900, and you go and search. This is the job portal which I'm talking about in the US. Same thing is in the UK as well. Now, we also don't limit yourself just for AI data. Companies look for someone who has a comprehensive AI, but also they can do cloud, they can do data. And that's where I'm going to bring now a little bit shift towards top 3 cloud providers, AWS, Azure, Google. I think someone is asking question, should I do AWS or should I do Azure? I don't have time to do both of them. And trust me, if you don't have a time, look at why you don't have a time. That means you're earning less. That means you should be focusing on earning a higher pack. And I understand that time is important for me as well. What I do is when I say I don't have a time, that means I'm earning less for my time. I should be earning more for my time. So instead of whatever I was earning in 8 hours, now can I earn the same thing in my 4 hours? And if not, what is required for me to do? I can earn the same in 4 hours instead of 8 hours. So find the time out and work on learning both. And understand you might initially want to work on learn with one particular skill. Having said that, okay, so these are the 3 cloud providers. We'll look at AWS, and we'll go a little bit later deeper, which is AWS has a bedrock, which is generative AI. What is generative AI? I'm going to cover that in a minute. But then you have, similar to generative AI solution, you have from Azure, you have OpenAI. From Google, you have a Google Vertex AI model garden, which we'll see in a minute later. Then for machine learning, so this is generative AI. For machine learning, you have SageMaker, you have Azure machine learning, you have Vertex AI, and then there are other services which are we call managed AI, or for image processing, speech recognition, translation, and other things which I'm not going to do deeper. My focus today is for generative AI and AI and machine learning high level as well. Any questions, guys, so far? Say NQ if no question. If you have a question, type in the Q, or if it's no, NQ, NQ or Q. Q is new questions, and NQ is questions. NQ, good. Let me see. Okay, Vikas is a very good question. If you're transitioning a career from an AI ML, we start working on a small real world project alongside with the lab exercises. Yes, yes, absolutely. You do that. Very good question, Vikas. So our questions is, if you're transitioning to career in AML, could we start working on some small real project alongside with the XM? Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying, so that you can show in your resume that you have done those projects. This might be helping interview also on. Very good question. Or I think it may be a statement. Very good, Vikas. Brilliant. Okay. I have one concern. Is this AI/ML future-proof or short-term trend? It's not a short-term trend, Farhan. Everything that you see, most of those slides that you see, the marketing material you see, the content that you see, a lot of help we need, and we have done some pretty advanced things for a lot of things. So it's not going to go anywhere. It's not a short-lived. In fact, EV is not also short-lived. It's taking a little bit longer than we initially anticipated. EV I'm talking about. And Tesla is, I'm loving my Tesla and been doing now 5-6 years, pretty amazing technology. and same is AI as well. So it's not going to go and stop anywhere here. Um, I need to work for environment parameters. I'm not sure, Jishan. Okay, let's continue from here, guys. Okay, so this was talking about then there are a lot of jobs available in cloud as well, but employers these are expecting more than one skill. Someone is asking about should I do AWS or Azure? Gone were the days where you can still get a job with just one skill, but you'll struggle a lot, or you may not get a good paying job that you expect. And that's where you say try to do more than one cloud or one skill, maybe AI and data and so on, mix and match that. That's what's seen. Or maybe companies will say, oh, you should be knowing DevOps, you should be also knowing machine learning, and it will be this, that, multiple things you'll see in the jobs. That's what is seeing the pattern as well. And this is another one as well, you see. So there are different job roles on different things. So depending on, there are core AI machine learning jobs, which are machine learning engineer, data scientist, machine learning scientist, deep learning engineer, data engineer, ML ops. Those who are talking about, those who are coming from operations or DevOps background, maybe ML ops, because we see tons of questions. Maybe you want to do computer vision engineer or NLP engineer. These are hardcore core AI machine learning. But then there is a generative AI. Now, to give you the context of generative AI, something that generate in a very simple terms, I generate a text, I generate a video, I generate a image, I generate a story, I generate my marketing material, I generate code, I write the code, I improve the code, everything that is generate something through like AI tools, that's generative AI. So there's a generative AI engineers, there's a prompt engineer. Prompt engineering we'll be seeing a little bit later. Then there's also someone who create generative AI models, the model specialist. Also, this is not a model as such, actor model. This is a model which is a machine learning model. Then you have an AI content creator. They have a synthetic data engineer that will be talking about. This is generating the data synthetically on synthetic data engineer. So you can have all these things as well. Now, this is another which is visually enriching, which I picked up from towards AI.net. This is a whole machine learning operations slide that goes, which is right from data exploration. When a machine learning, and later you're going to listen and understand, there's a whole machine learning algorithms, or you develop the models. Most of you guys may not be even developing those models unless you're a hardcore machine learning engineer. But in a machine learning engineering, or when models are being developed, they are developed in this manner where someone will come and explore the data. This is where my data analyst will come into picture. Then data will be prepared to be so that it can be used in meaningful manner. So that being done by data analyst or my data engineers. Then there'll be model development as well as evaluation that's being done by data scientists. Then there is model that model that's being created will be deployed. That will be deployed by MLOps engineer, which is if you're working on a DevOps, might be working on MLOps engineer. Then these models are integrated. Then there's a data visualization part, then the data analysis part, and this is again data analyst part. So this is a whole machine learning operations lifecycle. But then in order to have the data exploration might be on a cloud, so I need an infrastructure management. That's where my infrastructure, some of your infrastructure engineers will come. Maybe MLOps engineer might play that role as an infra engineer. Or I need someone to, when I'm doing data preparation, I need to define architecture. That's where my solution architect or data architect will come into handy. I might be, if I'm doing model, this one, I might be also need an AI researcher, machine researcher, data scientist, and this is where I'm doing this. Or I also need from a data modeler we call, or data engineer, which is using data modeling and storage, data governance, management, validation, product, and then whole group of project managers, product managers who are doing the implementation of that in their product as well. So this is again a one job role. And then again, because of the time, I'm not going to go deeper onto, but you can go deeper later. If you have any further questions, let me know. More than happy to help and answer these questions. But in the community, I've created a classroom. In that classroom, you go and say AI machine learning beginners, and this is where I've done job role for AI machine learning specific job. Now, a lot of guys come and say, hey, I'm not a developer. If you have a non-developer, no coding, no programming knowledge, you have a product managers, you have a strategist, solution architect, you have a data analyst, AI machine learning consultant, ethics. Oh, there's another one, which is AI specialist, which is an ethics committee or responsible AI specialist. There's a data governance, prompt engineering. All these are development and non-coding knowledge. Then I might go data-specific job roles. I might go to data and ML job roles. I might go to cloud job roles. And within cloud, you have a cloud architect, cloud engineer, cloud security engineer, cloud DevOps engineer, and so on, site reliability engineers, and so on. And then I have this is what I think the sweet spot. This is where cross-disciplinary job roles. This is where you can earn, because someone having a cloud and someone having an AI knowledge, very, very challenging. And that's where you come into handy. If you're already working to one, add second, so you can be apart from others. So cloud AI engineer or data AI engineer, data science and cloud engineer, AI ML, DevOps engineer, and so on. Am I making sense? Are you still with me, guys? Let me know. Are you still with me? Put in the chat window. Are you still with me? And go. So you can check out more on k2academy.com/AI community. Yes, great. Is it all fun or is it boring? Let me know. I don't want. Yes. Okay, great. Cool. So now, how many of you guys said, I'm not from IT background, don't have a coding or programming knowledge? If is there anyone like that? So I'll go deeper. If not, no. Fun, thank you. Okay, so let me know if anyone me4 or me5, put in the chat, or I'll see if there's anyone me4 or me5. If not, we'll move on. 4, there is a one 4, which is 4 and 5 for Anand. What is 5? Let me see. Okay, so hopefully 5 you hold on if I'll be able to do it. 4, great. Why do you think that will be interesting as well? So first of all, I'm not from IT background. I'm going to cover that. Don't worry about it. Okay, so everyone starts from somewhere from IT, and you don't need IT background. You need to have, especially with AI now, as long as you have common sense, you are not becoming a developer. Don't go, if you're not from IT background, don't try to become a developer. Don't try to write a code unless you are. If you don't have a coding or programming knowledge, I already mentioned to you, there are tons and tons of jobs. If you come here, these are all the jobs which needs no coding, no programming. You can become a product manager. For that, you need to have a good product management skills. You can become a strategist. You can become an architect, no coding. Okay. Now, again, you need to understand the concept. That's what you're going to cover later, what things you should be learning, but no coding, programming, no IT background required. You can enter, you learn, and of course, and you can achieve that. I'm going to show some of the guys who have achieved that as well. Same. Okay. So Bilal, Imtiaz, Farhan, Itunu, Devi, make sure that you stay attentive. You don't need to be, you have to start from somewhere, and you might have to study a little bit things. I'm not sure if you're part of, but those who are part of our community, we go and we begin with basics, and I'm going to cover some of both those basics here. This is another one. This is where we go, and this is my another program community. So this is where we begin with beginners level things. But anyway, does prior coding knowledge helps? Yeah, so Farhan is saying, does prior coding knowledge helps while AML job? So prior coding helps if you're going for more a development kind of a knowledge, or going for a deep machine learning. If you're not going for deep machine learning, then you don't need. So yes, it will help on if it's a development role. Okay. We're going to cover these points. Okay, let's continue with. So this is the other cloud roles I was talking about. You can look at. I'm not going deeper now. With that, let's begin with 3 mistakes you're making, and just type 3, number 3, so I know that you're still with me. Oh, except in the community, I'm going to do that. So type in community 3, so I can see and look at it and say type 3. Let me close this one. Okay, approve. Could not update. Maybe my team have picked up. Joel, if you can stay on top. Okay, they've played 3. Okay, okay. So let's begin with the 3 mistakes. Okay, so first low. So this is mainly important if you've typed me1 or me2. Not getting interview calls, or I'm attending the interview but no job offers, and it's going to be a little bit counter intuitive, or you might not agree with, because a lot of guys feel a bit uncomfortable when I say this the approach. But please bear with me in a minute. For a minute, you will understand what I'm talking about as well. So first is not applying early enough for the jobs. So what happens is, typically they say, I'm going to learn, and they learn, and what they do, they start collecting the certificates, and they do the certificates. And let me see if I put it. Yeah. So this is the 2 approach which I was talking about. There's an old way of applying traditional that you see on the right hand side, and there's a new way which I'm proposing, which I'm saying and been saying it for last now 1.5, 2 years. It's working like a big charm. You will see in a minute. Is old way of is I learn, go and say I want to become an AI consultant. So whatever is available, I do tons and tons of certificate. And then I go and apply for the jobs. Cricket, nothing is happening. No one is picking up my resume. Then I look into and realize, oh, I need to do some particular skills which are job is totally different than what I learned. So I've already spent 3-4 months, and now just to realize, oh, what I was supposed to learn in certification is totally different from what they're asking in the job. Then I start learning on the job, but then I still learn theoretical part. Then I go for interview. Somehow I get interview calls, but then I fail in interview. Then I go back and learn. Then I go for interview and realize, oh, I've not done the project. And by the time 5-6 months goes, and you feel defeated, and nothing happens. How many of you guys like where they're collecting the certificates and collecting up certificates, not getting? Put the chat window and say me if you're one of them. Okay, because I did that mistake a lot of times myself. Is collecting. The other way is, the better way in my view is, go to the job portal, have the very basic knowledge, basic terminology, which is more than enough. You will see inside the portal here. So if you go into the classroom, you see AI ML for beginners. So if you go to the classroom and come here, AI machine learning, generative AI for beginners, and as long as you have these basic concepts like what is generative AI, what is FM, which is foundation model, machine learning models, RAG, and I'm more than happy to add more if you're not sure. Basic concepts and terminology, if you're clear, that's pretty much you should be knowing. And then once you go to the job portal that you see the job portal and start applying for the jobs. Fast forward yourself 3 months, 4 months, thinking that you already know. So whatever an employee is asking on the job, write down. I know it sounds, should I be faking it? You're not faking it. You're promising to yourself or to employer, hey, I'm writing it down with the promise that I'm going to learn them quickly, and then go and apply for the interviews. Let me repeat one more time. If a job comes, or if I see a job, even though I don't know about, I've never done it, I'll go and write down everything an employer is asking with a promise to myself and to the employer saying that I'm going to learn that particular skill very quickly. Once I've done, I'm going to go and apply for the interview for that job, thinking that everything is perfect, crystal clear. Now, if you have done job correctly, you are going to get interview call. You may not be able to clear that. You have no clue what that you're going to speak in the interview or so, but you will get interview call if you've done the job properly, if you followed, which I'm going to talk in a minute, how to follow. Still with me? Put the chat window yes with me on this one. Put in the chat window and say you're still with me on this. Yes. Okay. Now, once I've applied, I'll start getting interview calls. Once I start getting interview calls, I'm on fire to learn now, because then I'm going to go and apply. Then I'm going to go and pick up what they're asking and see what hands-on labs I can do, what projects I can do on related to that particular topic, and then do that and go for the interview, whatever my best of my capability. And again, or maybe prepare the interview questions. I'll tell you some tips on, and if those of you are working with us already, you already know how to prepare for those interview questions preemptively and do the hands-on lab and project related to only that particular topic. Because in a job, they might be only asking 5, 6, 10 things. So rather than learning entire AI or entire cloud or entire data, just learn what they're asking for that, and you will fail in the interview. That's totally okay. But you will get within a week or within 10 days or within 2 weeks, you will get tons and tons of information from back. Then you go back and apply again. So your application is doing every day, but you're preparing, you go and fail again. You go and apply and fail again. You learn and apply, fail again. And this is the iterative process we are going to do. And within probably 3 to 4 weeks, you will know 50% of the jobs are pretty much common things, same things. And then only the 10% or only the remaining maybe 30-40% is tail tasks. And you will fail fast, you will learn quickly, and that's how you're going to get the confidence. So rather than doing and applying the old approach, this is the approach you should be doing. Now, I want to know is the concerns or questions if anyone is having. So the framework we're going to do is a 3-step framework, where the first thing is you go and land interview calls. So your first objective is just to do the interview call, nothing. You're not becoming an expert. You're applying for the interviews. Once you get the interview calls, start getting interview calls, you learn by doing hands-on lab and the project work. Now, I'm going to give you some tips as well on that. If you're not. Once you have done the interview and secured the job, then become best on that. Then there's a work required. Become best and learn every day till you feel confident about it. And you'll not feel confident at least till 1 or 2 months after the job as well. And things will become clear. And that happens with everyone. That happens with me as well. Till now, when I pick up the new thing, I try to learn as much as I learn the things on the job as well. So that makes sense. So Sajid is saying, how about creating a lean learning path that would facilitate baseline? Absolutely. This is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying. Brilliant. Brilliant. This is exactly. So are you guys still with me? So the path we are going to do is land an interview with the top companies, is tailor your resume, leverage networking, other things, and all those things which we will go deeper into. I'm going to keep it high level as well. Yes. Okay. Brilliant. So step one is create resume as per the job description. You should be as close as possible without you should be keeping the same client names, but writing as much as closer to the resume or to this. And if you're members, if you're part of a program, so inside that you have those of you, some of you guys, because we invited everyone and or my program members as well, follow that. And those who are part, what you should be doing is go to this classroom, which is under this club. This is for paid members, guys. So you go to the classroom and you come into the interview preparation and you follow these two things, which is complete guide on how to search for the job and how to do for the jobs. Prepare the resume, and you have a lot of sample resumes inside the program. So 1 second, where's my sample resumes? So you have sample resumes for all the different jobs. So go and apply based on sample resumes as per the job description and follow and create that. Step number one. Now, once you get but within that also your resume should be ATS compliant, because application tracking system compliant. How much time we are done? I'm not sure. Okay, let me continue here. ATS compliant resume. And then other thing you need to do is don't write a lot of clutter. Companies or people make mistake of writing too much clutter. They write, if the role is about technical job, they write Prince 2, for example, project manager things. So remove all the unnecessary things, because it is giving me as an employer wrong signal. If I'm hiring for technical architect, why are you doing project manager? Or if you're doing project manager, vice versa. So make sure that your resume is tight. Remove all the other clutter as well. That's still. Make sure your LinkedIn is optimized. There is 13-point checklist we refer. Make sure you follow that so that you start getting interview calls. Or whenever the employers are picking their resumes, they are bringing you for interview. Before they pick you, once they pick your resume, I would like to see who that person is on LinkedIn. And if there's a mismatch between LinkedIn and resume, then there will be a problem. But the question then comes is, will I be changing every time my resume? Answer is no. LinkedIn should be always superset. LinkedIn should write as much as you've done. Everything that you can think of or doing, keep adding and more stuff on LinkedIn. Resume should be as per the job description. Customize, change. And another question I get is, what if my employer or the same client or maybe they say two resumes? That's totally fine. Tell them that, hey, I've done so much things. I wanted to focus what's important for you. Are you still with me, guys? Are you still with me? Is it making sense? Where's my chat window gone? Is still with me? Yes. Okay, great. So if you follow all this, if you follow especially the LinkedIn, is Michael from UK. I did my homework and updated my LinkedIn profile. So this is, I'm talking about, is a 13-point checklist. If you follow, I did my homework, LinkedIn profile, and as soon as got tons of jobs. And again, those who are members, probably what I would be suggesting you is go to the classroom here and go to the interview the LinkedIn, and make sure that you go through these LinkedIn profiles. There's a session on how to do the LinkedIn makeover, and then how to do the LinkedIn optimization so that you start getting these. There's also some chat GPT prompts you should be following. There's also these feedbacks we do on a review feedback about LinkedIn as well. So make sure and do these sessions. If you do those things, you'll start getting these things. So again, guys, follow this checklist, which I'll go to. Let me stop some things. Hold on 1 second. Okay, let's continue here then. Okay, so first is that your objective should be, I don't know, my system is saying it's tired. It's okay. So step one is to let get an interview call. Okay, so step number one is to get. So what you do, tailor your resume as a cover letter, use networking, connect with other peers. LinkedIn, this is very, very important. prepare your ATS compliant, and then also build your brand, personal brand. That's what talking, especially those. Make sure that you write a lot of content and build authority. Try to build authority as well. And this is first point is about a lot of guys say, "Oh, I'm nervous. Am I going to get a job? I've tried all this." Is they say action bring clarity. So make sure that you action and act on those tasks, which is about. And this is what guys like Amol, like some of you guys might be worried. Updating the resume, preparing for interview questions, tailoring as per the job description, and which helped me in boosted my confidence in my job search and made me feel well prepared, also given motivation to apply and refining my experience, very enthusiastic, optimistic, and applying. My profile is already currently shortlisted to organization under screening stage. So this is going to work, and for sure work if you follow this, what I'm saying. Now, as I said, if you need any help on either interview or you're applying and not getting, as I said, I'm going to pick up only a handful of guys. If you need a help, go to this URL, k1academy.com/AI ML call. It's a program which is there's an investment required. So only and only if you're prepared to invest, then do that. But it's not for everyone. We're going to fill the application. So if I tell you what you need to do is k21academy.com/AI ML. What is the URL call? And if you go there, it'll prompt you for these things. So if you enter your name, email address, phone number, correct with the country code, change the country code on this, and then your LinkedIn profile. This is very, very important. So how to do the LinkedIn profile or find out is because without that, we'll not be accepting and will not be even giving you a call as well. So go to the LinkedIn. How to find out your LinkedIn? If you don't have a LinkedIn, make sure the first thing you do is create your LinkedIn profile. Okay, go to this LinkedIn, click on your name, and then whatever URL comes, this is the URL that you should be posting here. Now, what kind of a position you're targeting? As I said, I'm not accepting anyone and everyone. This is selective as long as it's related to data or AI or cloud or cybersecurity or security, DevOps, containers, Kubernetes, Terraform, those domains that you probably know will be working on helping you. Also, you need to tell me what's stopping you from getting certified or landing these jobs, because I can see how deep I need to help you with as well. So fill that. Also, what's your current salary and expected salary, and are you ready to invest the program? If you're not, please don't fail. There's a lot of free stuff on the community which is there as well. So with that, let's move on. Any questions you have, we'll move on to the next mistake, which is mistake number 2, not doing hands-on or project-based learning. How many of you guys not doing? And if you're not doing, first thing you do immediately after this class is go and create, whether you pick AWS or Azure or Google, go to this community here and go to, let me go back, k1academy.com/community. And go to the classroom. And in classroom, you will be having the, where is that gone? No, sorry, my mistake. AI community. Let me close this. Classroom. And then go to this create a free account, and later I'm going to add some more labs on whether it's AWS, Azure, depending on what people are looking. But create a free account and you could be able to do all the hands-on lab. Okay, what's the mistake number 1? Mistake number 1 is, okay, you have to go back, Shriran. Mistake number 1 is that not applying for jobs early. They're learning, are getting certified, but not applying, and it becomes very, very tiring. They give up. Okay, brilliant. So apply early, fail fast, fail quicker. Any questions for me that you want to pick which are missed here on this community? Okay. So depends on Farhan. So if you have a coding knowledge, it's good. If it's not, you don't have, you don't need to worry about. Depends on what you want to do, what kind of a role you want, Farhan. Okay, brilliant. Aryan, okay, brilliant. I think let's move on. So mistake number 2 is not doing hands-on lab and the project work. I'm not going to go deeper right now, but if you tell me what kind of a, we have tons and tons of hands-on lab which I can recommend you do. I'll give you, if you tell me, just put in the chat window and say which background you are, and I'll tell you, do you want to do more on AI, ML, or you want to go on data or cloud, or all of them, I can put it. So I'll give you some things. For example, if you go to the k1academy.com/, I think, is it AI, ML, data? Is it AI ML? And do we have AIML05? I'm assuming this is the URL where we list down all the labs. You don't need to do cloud. Okay, I'm going to show to you cloud as well. Within cloud, tell me which cloud, AWS or Azure cloud. So this is data science and machine learning, but this is need to change that. Azure, maybe add a little bit more. Let me show it to you cloud. So you AWS. So if you're going AWS, we go for AWS 05. Okay, let's go with AWS 05, and go for AWS 05 that have list of all the hands-on lab you should be doing. So right from basic account to the identity access management, to the storage, to the EC2s, to the AWS, to monitoring, to database, to this. Again, let me remind one more time. Don't do all of them, only what you need for the job. So to give a context of, let's suppose, let me pick up another one. Azure, let me pick up Azure as well, okay? So ketonacademy.com/Azure 05 and pick. And later leave the in the community, we'll post it there as well, Azure 05. So do something similar on Azure 05. Azure AML. Can you use that? Do AWS AIML as well?
I have shared the link, sir. Azure AIML 05.
So how do you access Azure? Is Shweta? You go to the portal. My team will post all these questions. That's what I'm saying. It would have been much better if you post here, but I know there's a little bit friction. People are comfortable here in this portal. We'll come back. So those who posted the question and have not got the response, I'm going to go to this community 13. Shweta, post there, but I will show it to you. Go deeper into. You come to the classroom and go to the Azure free account, and you can create and play from here Azure. Okay, let's move on now. So you have to do the hands-on. I'm going to do a little bit later, and then do projects. Now you don't do all the projects, depending on if the client that you're applying for the jobs are for healthcare, then do the finance project. If you're in telecom, do the telecom and pick just one project to begin with. You don't need to do all of them, and don't overkill yourself. Just pick one or two of them as well. Okay. Now, for those who are already inside the program, we have tons and tons of projects. So just to show you, if I go on to k20academy.com /community, this is for, those who are part of the paid program members, we have tons and tons of projects. So pick up the project, and if you're not sure, ask the channel. And if you see, right from doing monolithic migration, 3-tier architecture, SSL, hosting websites, these are all migrating from on-premise to cloud, deploying those things. These are AWS related. Similarly for Azure, 3-tier architecture, CI/CD, migrations, MySQL. This is Docker, Kubernetes. Keep doing, and there are tons and tons of projects. CI/CD, keep forwarding, end-to-end Azure data-related projects, housekeeping, tons and tons of PySpark. Those are coming from DevOps, and so on. Scrum Master. You name a thing, it'll be available there. Okay, so do those projects, and that's how you will be learning and getting things. Okay, let me move on. So that's mistake number 2. Now, mistake number 3 is not learning enough in-demand skill. Things are changing, and employers these days are expecting you to know more than what you're already doing. So that's mistake number 3, which is not in-demand learning on-demand skills. And what I mean by is there's a multi-skilled. You need to have more than one skill if you really want to shine and earn that extra money that what I was talking about. The 300,000-400,000 is, for example, cloud AI engineer, which means you have AI skills as well as cloud skills. So I can do the cloud engineering as well as AI to deploy AI models on the cloud. Maybe data and AI architect, where I'm doing data as well as AI part. Maybe data science and cloud engineer, or maybe I'm doing AI machine learning with DevOps. So I'm doing CI/CD, but with machine learning MLOps as well. Or maybe I'm doing AI with data governance, or cloud with data governance, or data-driven project manager, cloud-driven project manager. So you can mix and match these things. Again, multi-skilled. If you go to the portal, if you come in the classroom, and if you go on to the, I think it was, AIML jobs, inside that there is a combined cross-disciplinary data job roles. More than happy to add more there as well. So make sure you work on those parts as well. So once you've done, so first is your interview. Make sure you get an interview call. Once you get an interview call, you need to make sure you clear the interview. How do you clear the interview? Make sure you prepare very well as per the job description. Prepare, and these are some things about. Common question is, tell me the time about you've solved a particular problem related to what the job description demands. or use star method. I'm going to not going to, because of the time I just realized I'm running very, very late. So I'm just going to brush through this, but then I'm more than happy to go deeper if you have. Highlight how you're different from others. Do the research on the company. A lot of guys come to work with us and they don't even know much about company. And most of the good companies are driven by company culture, values. So look at what those companies are look for as well. So I'll give you some high level brief overviews, and those inside the program you probably already know: scenario based questions, technical questions, and if you have, like, suppose AWS, you're applying for AWS, that knowledge. Azure, cloud, AI, machine appropriately, architecture, design, troubleshooting, and so on. So there's star method, which I'm not going to go. I'll probably share that. This should be in the free community somewhere. We'll talk about as well situation. So make sure you focus on that part as well. So that's the three. And if you do that, this Pradeep, I've cleared my first round of director of engineering, and they want to proceed with the next interview, next round as well. Or Kennedy, again, up in UK, smashed my final interview, offer accepted as a senior technical advisor position. I can go Shavik, Bank of America, very senior role, is already 20 years experience, working as a Bank of America senior enterprise architect at financial services in Chicago, and so on. I can go on. I have tons and tons of them. So once you have got a job, don't stop there. Become an expert, and the real value and real thing comes becoming an expert in the domain. So go and make your client dependent on you, and that's where you unlock higher paying job. So excel in that, showcase your achievements, constantly learn, and then renegotiate the salary, become better. Or so companies will pay, ready to pay tons and tons of money. I'm living proof of that as well. And so become best like Srinivas. Take up $1 million project. I'm managing a team of 30 members. Imagine you're running and managing a $1 million project and managing a team. If you have the necessary skills, companies are ready to pay pretty damn good money. In fact, we have trainers who teach, they charge $300, $400 an hour. Big, huge amount for AI, machine learning, or data, or cloud. Good trainers, all the good trainers as well. And if I say this, but still people say, but. Yes, it's doable, but. Oh, I'm not from IT background. I have a coding program, and a lot of guys are there. I've seen already, but not from IT. And this is what exactly like Tolu. Exactly, a lot of guys not from someone like you, from IT background, to got 2 job offers. Very, very proud of him as well. Or maybe another one. I have tons and tons of Irina. No coding, no programming. Romania. She's working, no coding knowledge, non-technical background, customer service in cloud customer engineer in Oracle in Romania. I have tons and tons. I'm not going to waste your time. Still, I say, but I say, oh, I have a gap in my career. Anyone who has a gap in career? Anyone, and say me. I think we are going to, I'm running late, so I'm going to quickly do 1 or 2, and then we'll do me. Okay, Bilal, why you have a gap? Penny, Farhan, why you have a gap? I'm a little bit. Douglas, okay, a lot of guys have gap, or maybe others. Okay, so if you have a gap in the career, the challenge is you expect employers to give you the training and do. No, you need to become best, and if you have that, be open and transparent and show them that I've done these projects as well. So if you are one of them, and trust me, if you follow, do the project work, a gap is not a problem as long as you're skilled. So you need to upskill yourself before you go to the employer. I hope. Okay, Douglas, if you have a database administrator experience, you should be moving towards data on cloud, or cloud engineer, data engineer. You should be almost 2 years. Sorry to hear about that, Douglas. What are you doing? The question now to you is, what are you doing to upskill yourself as a database, as a data engineer, data architect, or a database on AWS cloud, database on Azure cloud? Have you done any of that? And if not, do that, please. My humble request. I've transitioned from, I used to be a DBA, Oracle DBA, to Apps DBA, to identity management, to cloud, and so on. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, 2 reasons. Okay, non-IT, understand, Bilal, understood. Okay, so I have a gap in my career. This is exactly what Meghna was a couple of years back. She became mother, and of course with a lot of gap. And I keep telling her that, okay, you need to do. And she worked on one of the most complex things, which was Kubernetes. So she started with DevOps, and then she worked on DevOps on cloud and Kubernetes, and she passed, in my view, one of the most difficult exams, Certified Kubernetes Administrator, CKA. And working as DevOps, working towards multi-cloud, working with British Telecom, exactly like you a couple of years back. It takes time, have patience, but it'll work for sure as long as you're sincere. My promise, as long as you're sincere, and so on. So still, I see, keep telling, and I have tons, and I can full. If you look at, I have tons of them. I'm not putting in all of them. So if you go to the, and just to inspire, because I know someone inspired me to do 550. Someone showed me that, oh, it's possible to earn 550. Success stories. I have tons and tons of them. If you start here, and I've just did a handful of them. Okay, so if you see now here, these are the testimonials. Just not all of them. These are the guys have taken the screenshots, and I'm going to add more and more of that. But these are video guys. These are the guys, Debashish, Rich, Joby, Joshua. Come here and look and get inspiration from them, what they've done as well. So if you go to the classroom and look at, listen to, because you get inspired, because these were exactly like what you are at this point, maybe a couple of years back as well. So, and what I'm learning, what I'm doing is, anyway, so still, will I be able to do it? I want to learn, but I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. I don't feel confident. I'm feeling stressed, confused. And trust me, till date, I'm ups and downs. I'm pretty much 1 month I'm on top of the world. 1 month, oh, am I doing the right direction? But then I have now two coaches. They pay cheap. They charge very very hefty amount. I have a mindset coach, and mindset coach charges started with $24,000 a year to 36, and this year 48,000. But trust me, when you hire a coach, you become amazing. But anyway, you don't need to hire a coach. You don't need to hire any of that. All you need to do is believe in yourself and listen from others. For most first 5, 6, 10 years, I left listening and getting inspiration from others as well. So do that, please. So what they say, action brings clarity. Make sure you're taking action. Every day you're taking action, going to the job portal, applying at least 1 or 2 jobs, at least 2 jobs. That itself, if you promise yourself, and then from now to 30 days, you're going to go to the job portal every day, go to pick and apply 2 jobs. I can guarantee you that at least you will get 1 interview call, because as long as you're fixing the problem, you identifying the problems, you're fixing them and fixing them and fixing them. So search, job, apply, prepare, and then learn, and then reverse again every day. Search, apply, prepare, learn. Search, apply, prepare, learn. And if you say I don't have a time, start early. I start my day 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I work till late. I don't need to, but I enjoy this. I keep upgrading. So make sure you do. Again, I'm not forcing anyone. This is something you will enjoy. It will be difficult initially, but I'm 100% sure if you follow this. Exactly, Roni. He was a lot of guys like come and say nervous and so on, but as now I have a stronger understanding of key concepts. Mock interviews have been especially helpful in refining my approach. Although I've not, imagine now someone is saying although I'm not yet secured a job yet, but I feel much more confident in my interview skills. Also, mock interviews, resume preparation, and then I'm very hopeful that, and with a continued effort, I'll land a role soon. And that is if you believe in, and I think everything begins, they say you build things twice, one in the mind and then second in actual. So if you believe, your mind believes, you will do that. And that's the whole point of having these sessions bring these stories because someone told me that it's possible to earn 900 pounds a day. It's possible to earn 1,200 pounds a day. When I started my career, I could never ever imagine, even thought all I wanted was just a job. And then I kept listening to these other guys and so on as well. So I think these are success stories I've already mentioned. Go and look them out as well. And if you want anything, just book a call if you're interested. But as I said, is k2academy.com. Check out this AI community. But if you need a help, k2academy.com for AIML call. We're running late, so I'm going to 10 minutes. I want to wrap it. I want to do and cover those points as well for 10 minutes on AIML, which is, I think I'm extremely sorry, guys, for not covering agenda, because as I said, I knew I've extended a little bit. I'm going to wrap it up in 10 minutes. I wanted to take, I don't want to do as well. I'm an IT support engineer, but don't have a coding. So Hasnan, you don't need a coding experience. Ravindra, plenty of job opportunities. So what you need to do, Ravindra, I'm not sure where are you from, but go to the job portal and say AI researcher. There are plenty of jobs. Okay, it's not easy to find them as well. Okay. Azure DBA. So Douglas, in my view, instead of Azure DBA, you should be going Azure Data Engineer, DP203. Douglas, in my view, Data Engineer is much better than DBA, Azure DBA. So if you go to k2academy.com/DP20311, this is much better for you, DP20311. This will all about data engineer certification, Azure Data Engineer certification. Douglas, you're lucky. I used to be a DBA, so I understand the pain. No, why it's going to the wrong person, everyone. Do this. Oh, why it's gone. DP20311. So guys, I'm going to go and a little bit move quicker on this. Let me move on. So I'm hoping, no, say, if, as I said, is work with me. We only work with, I think I'm limiting it to 5 before we run next year, 2025. KTonacademy.com for AIML call as well. So submit your details. I think I already mentioned, and hit enter as well. Now, as I said, I'm going to go high level, but I'm going to go deeper into later. Maybe I'll have a subsequent sessions on I'm going to do. So what to learn? I think this is where I want to go. You've learned why to learn and what are the mistakes to avoid. Now with that, let's begin what to learn on if you're doing AI machine learning as well. So first of all, in a high level, AI machine learning, generative AI as nothing but in simple terms, think of it as a bigger umbrella of AI, which a technique which computers try to mimic like humans. It's very, very common being last 30, 40 years, computers are already doing with AI without even realizing this. Then you have machine learning, which is a subset of AI. I'm talking very, very simple layman's term because a lot of guys are beginners, but you can go deeper. I have a more in-depth inside the free community that we are doing. So there's a search pattern for data for building the models automatically, which we'll be seeing. So a lot of those things you see. Machine learning also is for a number of years now. Then you see deep learning, which is again a subset of machine learning where it works on a multi-layered neural network, something similar to what our mind works. So you see number plate recognition, face recognition, or a lot of those things, again, deep learning. That's been on a number of years now, deep learning as well. What changed is recently was generative AI, which means using this large language model. What I mean large language models are built on a very wide scale of data or internet, all the data available on the internet based on that models, which will it's already trained, and based on that, generating something. Generation could be a text, generation could be and so on, it could be anything. So, and that's something referred on a vast amount of data. That's something called as foundation models. So when I talk about, you should be familiar with generative AI, foundation model, large language model, which we'll cover in a minute. Am I making sense? So think of it as like a AI bigger under the ML, under the DL, under that generative AI. Generative AI generating something, which could be image, which could be text, which could be video, which could be code, which could be anything generation. And you will see more and more growth around that as well. It's pretty powerful. It's pretty good as well. So in concepts, you need to understand what is foundation model, LLMs, tokens, vector database, prompt engineering. You don't need to learn all of them. As I said, if you've seen a job, just then only learn. If it's not in the job, don't learn, because you want to fail fast and see quick. Maybe so embeddings. What is embeddings? Are RAGs, knowledge graphs. Zero. This is prompt engineering. Zero shot, few shot, transfer learning, and so on. So you have a lot of data trained and based on the foundation model, as you generate something which will be content and so on. This is the task that you do. Now, again, as I said, there's a lot of content already available in the portal, which is K2 Academy. So go to the classroom. Under classroom, AI machine learning for beginners. This is where you will see the concepts, all of those which I'm talking about. What is AI, generative AI, foundation model, LLMs, and so on. Okay, and what is the difference between foundation model and LLMs and so on. And then services comparison between AWS, Azure, and so on AWS Cloud as well in the certificate. And then I'm going to add more about TensorFlow, or libraries, frameworks, the Kubeflow, and so on. Okay. So again, sorry for that, as I said, so learn more on these, what is LLMs and so on. Also RAG, which is now taking that step a little bit further, I can then hook into my knowledge base, which could be, I can hook in my customer service database, I can hook in my my ticketing system, I can hook in with some external data source, so that there's more context around that. I'm going high level forward now. Are you still with me? Am I going fast? Or are you still with me? Am I still making sense? Yes, we do have a Scrum Master class, Sashak, but that's something in a community. Reach out to my team and reach out and say, I'm looking for a Scrum Master. We do. Yes, okay, making sense. Okay, I'm focusing just now on this. Scrum Master is again, in my view, Shashank, outdated. AI is future, buddy. Okay, so then you have a lang chain. Again, I'm not going to go, but multiple models chained together is a lang chain on a very simple high level. There's something called as AI agents. You should be also familiar with AI agents as well. Then also there's a machine learning. Within machine learning, there is a supervised learning, unsupervised. There's someone at the home. I have to close this now, but as I said, there's an unsupervised supervised learning as well, and there's a machine learning. ML ops. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do another session if required. So ML ops, machine learning cycle. This is the whole machine learning cycle works. And I might record a video separately later part. So machine learning life cycle, where you identify the business goals, frame the problem, collect the data, process the data, train, evaluate, deploy, and monitor. This is an end-to-end cycle as well. So that is called as ML ops. Combination of DevOps and machine learning. This is ML ops, where I'm doing machine learning in a DevOps style model as well. Now it's a combination of machine learning, DevOps, and data engineering combined together, ML ops as well. Now the way you have a production environment, dev environment, test environment, same thing your ML ops workflow also works from a development stage to the pre-production stage to the production stage. And within each, you do all the cycle that you do for machine learning engineers, ML ops guys do. Then there are tools available for machine learning operations. And that is where I think I'm going to wrap it up or pause. And today, you have a Kubeflow, which is an open source. If you're working on an operations team, ML operations, Kubeflow, which is an open source Kubernetes based system. Then you have ML Flow. This is again open source but lightweight flow. Similar to that from AWS, you have SageMaker. Those are part of AWS machine learning. You'll be learning in a program. Those are part of program. You'll be learning these things, and we'll be also learning Kubeflow and ML Flow as well. So SageMaker, you have a machine learning, which is a fully managed cloud Azure, or Google Vertex AI also has the machine learning operations as well. Also, then there is a maturity model, no ML ops to DevOps, but no ML ops to automated training to automated deployment model to full ML ops. We're going to go deeper, maybe sometime in future as well. And that is where we first transition AWS AIML. I might be have to do some time in future, but learn things like Bedrock, learn things like SageMaker. Bedrock is generative AI or service. Bedrock, SageMaker is machine learning. And the difference between SageMaker and then there's CI/CD. You can do the certifications. There are certifications available. And for certifications, I think there is a separate video class we do. Inside that, if you come to the classroom, and then you go and under the classroom, you go and certifications. This is where I have all the certifications of AI and machine learning and Azure. If you want a cloud or Scrum Master or something, let me know. I'm more than happy to add. I'm more than happy to add. Just put in the chat window on 13. I'm going to pick up these questions here. Okay, great. Great. Okay, so this is certifications. I'm good. As I said, I'm going to go deeper later. Maybe I'll have another class one for AWS. These are the guys who got the certifications easy peasy. We'll get tons of guys who got certificates as well on AWS cloud. Hands-on lab, we'll cover that later. I'm not, because of time, I'm going to continue this class maybe in future. Azure AIML, this is where you say the whole Azure AIML Studio. OpenAI Studio is similar to the Bedrock in AWS, Sage on OpenAI Studio in Azure, Microsoft Azure. Listen to this recording, guys. I'm a little bit faster, as I said as well. And this is the whole ML Flow machine learning. This is machine learning studio. Machine learning studio in Azure is similar to what you have in AWS called SageMaker. Okay, and this is the whole machine learning pipeline in Azure. And these are certifications, overall certifications in Azure. These are more infra, this is for more data, and this is for more AI. Someone was asking about data. This is what I was talking about, data engineering. This is for data analyst, which is PL300 and database administrator, DP300. But you have for data AI machine learning, you have AI 100, AI 102, and DP 100, which is data scientist, and so on. So then I'm going to move fast, quicker. This is a path. I'm not going to cover that. But again, certification is easy. You have tons of guys who have cleared the certification as well. So I'm not going to go these as well. These are hands-on labs. Final part was supposed to be Google Cloud, and which is you have Vertex AI, which is and again, I think I'm definitely going to have another class for Google. I'm going to go deeper into Azure and Google and all three of them separately as well. You can go and practice yourself now in Vertex. I'll give you the steps there as well. So go classroom and create a free account as well on there. So how you want to take, again, as I said, is because of time, I didn't anticipate I'm going to go so slow, but I think it was valuable, I think. But before I go forward, and as I said, is if you want to go and move on to the next slot or thing, don't book it if you're not prepared to do the work. Don't book it if you're not ready to invest in yourself. There'll be plenty of free stuff I'm going to give in the program or in the community, so don't worry about it. but do it only if you're really serious and move quickly. So k2nacademy.com/AI ML call. Just fill this form as well on there. Now, um, I have tons and tons of inspiration. I'm not going to make it, but as I said, go and look at the guys like you, Joby, struggling from no interview calls to job offers in to moving into the cloud. Tolu I've already mentioned, Meghna I've already mentioned, college pass out, to Kwame to relocate it to US, to Yash. And again, as I said, it's not one, two, three, four, thousands and thousands of guys. So I'm going to wrap up with, I'm going to take up the questions here now. If I've missed any questions, I'm going to make sure that I take up the questions. I know I'm going to do one more session, which I knew that I'm not going to cover all of them, but this was a little bit. I'll continue on part 2 or 3, and I'm going to tell you where to find these future sessions as well before we go forward. So let me look at, and I'm going to spend maybe 10 minutes or so to, if there is any questions. Why are you going up? Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, so I think this is what we started. We promised, we covered. I still have not gone through deeper onto 3-step framework, but I'll cover that a little bit later. So if I go to the community, I've already planned these some of the classes. So if you go to the calendar, and this is where we have another class which is coming up on this Saturday. I have a Google Cloud, which is, I think coming Saturday is more on Azure, and Google is going to be on 23rd, and AWS AIML we just did recently. I might do it in future. I'm going to revise the whole thing of the whole program as well. So this is, you're going to see in the calendar as well. So now with that, I'm going to pick up the questions from this first. As I said, I'm going to promise that I'm going to make sure that I answer 13th. So let me pick one by one question. If you have any question, I'm going to pick up. Pradeep, thank you very much. Amano, let me know if you have any questions. Registered, I'm unable to find the meeting link. So Haim, I think I've already answered this question. Meeting link was when you register, you should be getting that invite in the Zoom call. It'll be in Zoom call. Thank you very much, Abdul. Oh, guys, before we say, can you rate me and tell me, was it useful? And was it useful or not between 1 to 5? I rate to others. And if you rate below 5, give me constructive feedback. I know, don't rate me for the last 10-15 minutes, because I knew it was rushed, because I didn't anticipate, but I wanted to give as much value as I could. But if you rate below 5, that's totally fine, but let me know what I could have done very better, so we can, next time classes I do that as well. Thank you very much. Shweta really inspires me. Shashank and Shujan, Shweta, thank you very much. Very useful. Deepak, appreciate. Thank you very much. It was very inspirational. Thank you, Farhan. Good. 3, Prakash, would love if you can tell me what I could have done. 3 is not good for me. Let me know what I could have done better. Vivek, not useful. It was motivational speech. I was looking for learn something. Let me know, Vivek, what you want to learn. There's plenty of learn. I'm not going to leave you like that. So let me know what you want to learn. There's plenty of things to learn. And so I'll give you that. Don't worry about it. I'll not let you go disappointed. Okay. And Vivek, Eben is saying, I want to know, if you are AWS solution architect, what is the best model to do, or which combination is the best to do? So Eben, if you want to go on, if you're already, just let me know which country you're from, and I'm going to do it as well. But could be a little longer. Yeah, Craig. I usually do, people get bored. I used to do earlier 2 hours, 3 hours classes, but I want to limit to 1 hour. Srinair, what is the fees? As I said, Srinair, I'm not accepting anyone. I'm only depending on with the right one. So fill that form and we'll see if we can even take you on that. What skills or certification required to become an AI researcher? I'll pick that. Ravindra, if you don't mind, if you go into 13th, I'm going to dig that deeper, but only I want to see if you're putting an effort to post that even question in 13. I'm going to pick that there. Yeah. I'm from Ghana, but currently based in Kenya. So I'll put that Kenya AWS architect. If you don't mind, iPhone, if you post there and say I'm from Ghana and solution architect, I think you should be able to get a job with that itself. We'll do that as well. What will be the best duo with AWS? I'm in USA. So AWS with data, AWS with the AI. I think I would say AWS with data AI, both will be hugely popular. Okay, great. I think Farhan, I think I've already mentioned, I'm going to look and go deeper into, you suggest learning. Okay, if you want to learn coding or programming, it's not required, mandatory, but look Python if you can do, Farhan. If you want to do Python, but it's not required as well. Okay, good. Vizar has already put, okay, we've already worked. Targeting to move project to work. Okay, what do you want? Farhan, if you're part of the program, speak to someone in team. They will help you. Don't worry about it. Um, I mean, still able to secure a job. Yes. I think if you really, Farhan, if you really want to get a job, I think the approach I tell. So if you put me and let me know which program you're part of. If you're inside the program, we're having a session tomorrow, so you can come there. So take an example of, let's say, I'm going to go on to now JobServe. I'll take 1 minute and take an example because there were some guys from AWS. Okay, so let's suppose AWS, and I'll click on search here, and then I search if you think that okay, AWS Cloud Product Manager, if this is the job you want to do, then you pick that. I'm taking another one. Let's suppose this is I lagged 850 pounds a day, which is AWS Cloud Engineer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first prepare my resume and write down everything, right? CI/CD, EC2s, RDS, S3, Lambda, CloudWatch, CloudFormation, Terraform, Python. Okay, understanding of coding language. So again, if you don't know, just say skip this part, but still apply with all these other parts as well, because it's cloud engineer. It's something in my view nice to have, unless it's a cloud developer role. Okay, and then if you have a certification, is desirable, not mandatory. So still apply for this, and then learn everything in EC2, RDS. So to give an example of, I'm going to go take an example of, I'm going to go to AWS 05, which is a list of hands-on lab related to AWS, and then first is, of course, I'm going to create a free account, and then you can practice these free from. So they're asking EC2 and RDS. So I'm going to go on EC2 and say in EC2, I'm creating a Linux and Windows machines. I'm going to host my web servers. I'm going to configure some load balancers, build it, configure auto scaling, and do. Now again, don't try to complete all the labs as long as in first time you've only done a Windows machine or Linux machine. Next situation, I might add something, but first do one lab of EC2, one lab of RDS, which is a relational data services, which I'm going to create. For example, where is my relational data services gone? Where is my database? Yeah. So I'm going to create, for example, maybe MySQL RDS or Oracle RDS or Microsoft SQL RDS, one RDS or DynamoDB or so on. And then I'm going to create a S3, so which is a S3, what is a simple storage services. I'm going to create something from a S3 buckets. So I'll create a bucket. I might do a replication. I might do mount. I want to take it to the next level. I mount that storage. This is not S3, but EBS, for example, and mount and create and so on. Okay, Divya is saying, I'm new to learn to cloud. Started with OCI. What other things to best in learn? So OCI, I always say now AI, Divya. Just curious, why OCI, why not AWS? Are you from Oracle background? And if you are, then it's good, OCI. If you're not from Oracle background, I would still pick something else. Okay, I've done AWS Solution Architect certification, ISIM career guidance. So, Shushma, go and apply for AWS job. You don't need any career guidance. Go and apply. You'll get clarity on. Okay, or ask in our community, guys. With that, thank you very, very much, each one of you, for being here. I wanted to limit it and saying, come and join and ask questions in that community. I hope. Let me stop my recording.